Hello, I'm going to give you an introduction to report templates in Nook, which is a way of building a report that you might regularly run, such as every Monday morning, every month, or every quarter. And it produces a spreadsheet that includes a number of different metrics that you'd find valuable. For instance, total numbers, averages, specific data points that you need to report on. It lives over in reporting. So if you go to the reporting section, you'll see there's an area called report templates, and I'm going to take you through the process of adding a new template, and by doing that, demo what you can actually do. So I'm going to click on add new template, and now I'm asked for some basic information about the reports template which I'm going to create. So I'm just going to give it a name. Let's call it demo template, and a description. And then it asks me to add the content for the report. So what do we want to actually put in the spreadsheet that gets generated? And there's a number of different options here. I click on add new tab, and it asks me of which type I want to put in. And we'll start with statistics, which are a lot easier to explain. So statistics are essentially simple counts, simple metrics, totals, averages, and so on. If I click on statistics, it gives me a couple of options. I can add statistics at a case level, or I can add statistics from a task level. So let's stick with cases, the number of cases that we're dealing with on the system. So here are some examples of the kinds of things that I could do. I could have a total count of the number of cases. I can have an average number of the household members, or I could do total counts of financial savings if we're capturing that information. I'm going to choose add case statistics. And you'll see I get a little area here, which is going to be my statistics tab. I'm going to rename it. Let's just call it case stats. And I'm interested in number of cases. No, I'm not interested in that. It's making that as a suggestion, but I'm going to remove that for now. And I'm going to choose, well, I'm interested in door brushes. I want to know how many door brushes have we given out in this period. I'm also interested in the number of light bulbs as well. So let's choose light bulbs from here. And again, I could choose total, I could choose average, minimum, maximum, and so on. So those are the basic metrics that I want out of Nook. But I also want some other information. I really want to know the cases that we're working on. Where are they in the journey of our work with them? Essentially, all the different stages that cases go through. What are the numbers? How many are in each stage? And to do this, I'm going to add a new tab, and I'm going to use a breakdown block. So here I can show a statistic broken down by a category, which is exactly what we want. Here are some examples. Let's look at case breakdown. So I could, for instance, do the total savings by property type, and it would produce a tab in the report which has the property type and then total financial savings for each. So it's a really useful breakdown. Now let's add this. Now remember, I wanted cases by stage. I'm still happy with this number of cases by case stage. So it's actually suggested the ones that I want to use already, which is quite handy. Now, I'm also interested in the number of cases by stage and property type. I think that's really, really useful. So here I'm going to do another breakdown block, and I'm going to choose property type and stage. And I'm going to choose number of cases by stage and property type. Now I'm going to show you one more, which is let's say I want to do by number of cases by property type and tenure type. So whether it's leasehold, freehold, private tenant, and so on. So let's add another breakdown block at a case level, give it a name, no, not stage, tenure, and I want the number of cases by property type and tenure. There we go. So the last kind of tab that we want to explore is a table tab. And a table tab is essentially a way of extracting specific data on all the cases or tasks and producing a tab in the spreadsheet that you can filter and manipulate and so on. Here's some examples. So I could produce a table which includes, say, for instance, all the client names, the current stage, the postcode they're at, and the EPC rating, and so on. And I'm working at a case level, so I'm going to choose to add a table of cases. But what I'm actually interested in is, let's give it a name, is I want to know not the case number or the case stage. I want to know the name, and I want to have a table that includes the property type. And I'm also interested again in the tenure type. And I'm also interested in the EPC rating, let's say. And that's going to produce me a table which lists all the clients and includes all their property type, tenure type, and EPC rating. So I think this looks good enough for now. I'm going to save that. And then I am going to run it. So I click the run button, and here it asks me to choose a name. I'm happy with, let's say it's Monday morning, demo run Monday morning. And I am asked if I want to filter the projects or include everything. I just want to include all the projects that we do, whether I want to include a date range. I'm going to leave it as all time for now, but I could choose a specific date range, and I'm going to run my report. And it produces a report for me, which is downloaded on my computer. And now let's take a look at the output. I'm going to look at it in Google Sheets because I don't have Excel. So I'm going to switch over there, and here you're going to see your report. And you're going to see a number of things. First of all, you're going to see the tabs here reflect the report template that we built. The first tab is always a contents tab, which includes some basic information about the report. So we have the name of the report, when it was generated, and how many cases and tasks were included, and so on. Now let's look at some of those tabs. Now you may remember that I was interested in some basic level metrics, the total number of door brushes given out and light bulbs given. So here we can see we have 229 and 191 accordingly. So that's quite handy. I was also interested to know more about the number of cases sitting in each stage, and we created a breakdown for this. So here you can see in this tab that we have 56 cases sitting in our waiting list stage of our work, 8 cases in the assessment stage, and 6 having measures implemented, and so on. So that's a breakdown. Now I also had another kind of breakdown which was done by stage and property type. So here in this tab you can see the different stages, and you can see the different property types. So we know that we have 45 flats sitting in the waiting list stage, 7 mid-terrace houses, and so on. We also had another breakdown which was of property type and tenure. And we can see here now we've got property type in this column, and then we can see the tenure type. So we can see that we have 1 private tenant in a flat, 4 council tenants in flats, and so on. And last of all, I wanted to create a table which included a number of different data points on our cases. So here over in this tab, we can see each row has got the client's name, the property type, the tenure type, and their EPC rating, where we've captured this information. So I can now manipulate that in Excel or Google Sheets and do whatever I want with this data. But now let's go and look back over in Nook. So we've run our report template. I'm going to go back to the reporting section. And here in report templates, you can see there's our brand new demo template. I can run that again. I can change the date range. I can edit that template and capture different kind of information, or I can duplicate it and use that as a basis for creating a brand new report. So that's it. That's report templates in Nook. We think they're going to save a lot of time when doing regular reporting, and I hope you found this demo useful.